In My Life. This is a song that, obviously one of the most beautiful songs of all time, I think. And I have played this many different ways over the years. I first did an arrangement in G. On an album I put together Beatles tunes back in 1989, something like that, maybe 88. And when I did that, I kind of did it just really quickly, not really paying attention, didn't go listen real carefully to the album or anything else like that. And I, recently, well, you just saw what it sounds like now. I've changed it into the original key, which when I first started thinking about doing a more accurate arrangement in the key of A that they played it in, I thought, well, the intro is really nice. But then the melody is down really low. And I thought, that's good. And then there's going to be that harpsichord part that is going to be probably killer in A. And but then it occurred to me, well, hey, play it in a couple different octaves. So that's what we have now, is an arrangement in A that is not really difficult to play, except if you try to do all the little nuances that were done on the sped up piano part that George Martin threw together for them. And I kind of decided, okay, well, I'm going to tackle this and see what happens. And the result, I'm actually pretty happy with it, but I did have to work very hard at it. So I've got an idea here to do a lesson on the song that is going to have the two verses that are totally approachable by, if you're pretty comfortable with bar chords and fingerstyle things. And then we will simplify that solo. I mean, I'll show you the real one. What made the first one so difficult is the little trills that are very easy on the piano, and on the guitar they just don't translate very well. So if we take those out, we'll end up with something like this. Yeah, that'll work. And then head off into there. I still got to work on that a little bit, but by the time I get to that part of the lesson, I'll have that completely organized. So what I kind of want to do is invite you to get started on this. In the next section, we'll take a look at the intro and the way I played the first verse with the melody down low. And a kind of a recurring theme that I brought into this was sliding into notes, little glides. Anyway, you heard them in there, and so there's going to be a lot of little slides to connect the notes, make it very legato. So trying to go with the really dreamy approach to this song. On a completely different side note, I should say that for later. Might throw together the solo in C as well, because I know a lot of people like to play this and sing it in C, and might tackle the little arrangement. Well, I obviously already have a little bit, and I think I got some ideas in that, so that may become a part of this lesson too as it unfolds. But for now, let's take a look at the intro and the first verse. We're going to get to the whole thing, and maybe by the time you're seeing this, the whole thing will be done too, but we're going to parse this out in small doses. So coming up, a lesson on the arrangement in A of In My Life. Well, let's start with the intro. And I just played the first four measures there without the pickup into the verse. But at the end of that, we're going to slide up from E to F sharp with our third finger and head into the verse. But we'll talk about that in the next segment. The couple of things that are very important in this song, and it starts right off the bat in the intro, is separating bass notes and melody notes. So right there on the first beat, I'm playing this A chord with a bar down here because we need to get to the high A as part of it, and then pick out this little melody from C sharp to D to an open E. And if you, so I've got this hinge down here playing these 3 strings but leaving the first string open. If you have trouble doing that, it's not, and really important thing about this is notice the hinge with this knuckle. I'm not, if you're trying to do it like with a normal bar, it will never work. So you have to get your wrist up a little higher, and so that this knuckle is bent pretty much at like a 90-degree angle, forcing or getting you a lot of pressure on the strings. So, but if you can also let go of the A chord. You can roll it off the second and third strings, keeping your first finger on the E and the bass if you have to. We want to get to that G sharp before the E and the bass, and then we're going to let go of the chord, and then we're going to add your first and second fingers down here for this partial E chord. But getting back to the specifics in this measure, most of the time when you have a bass note and a melody note, especially on the first beat, but maybe in all kinds of places, it's better not to play them together, but to separate them slightly. The bass note maybe first, usually that's what you're going to do, is the bass first. So practice that little ta-dum feel. Then we have a second bass note, up to the high A, a little filler note down here. Now, what happens in the second measure, what I have is this. But it really could be anything. All we need to do is keep that G sharp sustaining and play a few more notes out of an E chord. I like in the second time around, though, bringing it to a little bit more of a conclusion on beat 3, whereas in the first one, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, I played a bass note on beat 4. But the second time around, when we're going to go into the melody, it's better to make it a little shorter. Maybe something like this. Could even end it there. We've heard all the notes. And then we're going to take that slide from E to F sharp, heading into what's going to happen in the verse. So that's it for the intro. It's going to happen a couple of times in the song. Actually, it's going to happen twice in the beginning, or 4 measures in the beginning like that, and 1 pair of 2 measures going into the second verse. And then we're going to hear it at the end as well. We're going to hear it returns. So it's a great little 2-measure phrase that John came up with there to open up the song. Okay, that's all I have to say right now about the intro. Coming up, we'll take a look at the first verse.